What's up guys, welcome back. TCG Metagame breakdown for end of January, early February 2021. Let's take a look. Blazing Vortex hit the shelf, so let's take a look how much of an impact that set had on our, or at least has on our TCG format, right? Well, let's quickly move into the results from past weekend. The Luxury Championship Series, the 10th one, and these are the results. The first one here is the pie chart, of course, of every deck. In the top cut, beautiful by the way, created by Hakuna, my data. Fantastic, but he does the job always quite well. Okay, back to the pie chart again, a little under 400 players, so that's quite big because again it's an online tournament, not remote duel, that's important. And second, this was a team tournament, so 129 teams. That's well, keep it in mind, since that has obviously has an impact on the results on the different decks in top cut mainly. So again, very similar to the OCG results we've discussed a couple of days ago with both Virtual World and the Tritron leading, and then, you know, followed by Zodiac variants as it was in the OCG. Let's zoom in. The top 16 breakdown. Again, 16 teams, every team consistent of 3 players, so, you know, 48 players in total. There are a lot of other decks, but again, explanation, it's a team tournament, right? So keep that in mind. One could know is that one player of a you know, particular team could have lost pretty much all of his matches, but then again, the 2 other players could have won every match, and, well, they still went through in the top 16 cutoff, but, I mean, that's just a theory, but that's how it is, right? Top 16 breakdown, we, again, very similar to how it is now in the OCG, since they are 3 months, or about 3 months ahead. They do have a different format, but both Virtual World leading with Tritron, again, similar in the OCG. The third big deck in the OCG is Zodiacs, but now Zodiacs kinda, you know, similar in results or representation in top cut, similar to other decks, and mostly Eldritch, I guess, and Dragonlink. Keep that in mind, Dragonlink, and then again a lot of other decks. Biggest explanation for that is, of course, again, we have a team-based tournament. Let's zoom in into the decks. All the decks will be, at least are released, are in the video description. The link to the Facebook page as well, so again, feel free to take a look. I'm zooming in on the top 4. And a couple of interesting lists that I thought was worth mentioning, right? It's not like Virtual World or Tritron. So first place, again, you know, these names should ring a bell. They are like pretty much either they win or end up top cut or top 4 in past luxury gaming events. Paolo again taking this one with the team, pretty much choosing his favorite archetype / deck, the hybrid of Zodiacs and Eldritch, and then, you know, a buttload of hand traps, Skullmeister as well, the Ghost Bells, fantastic DD Crow, you know, definitely a superb meta call, and you know, that might just be a reason why Tritron and you know, Virtual World is not really in the finals, and then, you know, that's quite big. The other list, again, pretty similar if not the same. I mean, both Christian and, you know, Paolo played things really well. Gabriel as well, he won the past event if I'm not mistaken, the 9th one. Again, feel free to correct me. This time, again, first place with the team, but he opted to go for Dragonlink, so no Virtual World this time, no Tritron, but, you know, slap things up and go for the Dragonlink deck. I mean, Konami is going to ignore the deck, I guess, with LP/Pisty, and, you know, it's still superb, it's still very strong. Congrats. Second place, some interesting picks. Again, huge Eldritch oriented decks here from both these players. The third player, Paul Cooper, was running Emancipator list soon. A couple of things to note is, again, a huge amount of hand traps. Obviously, the Text Aerial in the main deck here on the left side. Drolls, obviously, you know, superb as well, but triple torrential, while the player on the right side opted to go for more floodgates, I guess. Summon limits also, but well, yeah, more trap-oriented, right? You know, that might have been a weakness as well, who knows. But yeah, okay, as I mentioned before, we have the Emancipator list from Paul Cooper. Second place, interesting one. Not sure how superb or how consistent it is, but Might try this out, the triple hat trigger in something like, okay, rank 4. Yeah, okay, I'm not sure how that works out. There is another, I mean, the past weeks we've seen Emancipator was with Prankets, some small Prankets engine, I guess. I have that one, one ended up top 16, so more of that soon, but well, it's certainly a strange list. It's not your top pick if you're going for like a YCS caliber event, because again, you know, the ceiling, low block dragon and so on, but I mean, it still takes people by surprise. Third place, finally some Drytron action. No surprises outside of maybe the no Vanity's Ruler in the main deck. All of the 3 players here, as you see, pretty much playing the same deck, almost pretty much the same deck. But they did not main deck the Vanity's Ruler, and that's an interesting one. You know, keeping your normal summon for stuff like Manju, for example, or the Petite Angel, I believe the name is. Sounds reasonable, very similar to the OCG, where they want to keep their normal summon for the Herald. Yeah, that's how things go. The tuner. So Drytron, right, top 4. And then the other top 4 list, not Drytron, but Virtual World. Yeah, what can we say about the deck, right? Anything spectacular? No, probably not. Pretty self-explanatory. Again, a huge amount of hand traps. Ghost Bell seems to be, you know, becoming very, very important, even though this is still online format, right? Keep that in mind. And the last list here from top 4, Dragon Link as well. Let's move on. A couple of interesting lists again from the same tournament, but the ones that caught my attention, I believe other people as well. The first one here by Tristan. You know Tristan, I believe he won Luxury Gaming, one of the series, one of the tournaments as well, if not mistaken. At least multiple tops, if not every tournament he topped, at least from the series. But this was an interesting one, right? Tri-Brigade Lyric, I believe I can call it Beast.deck. Short sets and, you know, Jack in the Hand is there as well. The level 1 searcher, okay, you're giving your opponent at least one of the level 1s as well, but what are they going to do with it? And at the same time, you will just link upgrade with your, you know, Tri-Brigade stuff, for example, or the Lyric stuff, for something like your Simwork link, you know, block your opponent out of the duel, prevent them from playing the game, basically, with Avian or, you know, the Barrier Statue. Those are all things. So, interesting one. But correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think with the upcoming Remote Duel, Invitational and tournaments or extravaganza is that I don't think you're allowed to run the check in the hands, right? Yeah, I think so. Not sure about this. But cool stuff, right? Ryan Yu also opted to play Virtual Worlds. Other list we see Dinosaurs, the only one dinosaur player, and you know, like past month before the ban list, everyone, oh man, limited miscellaneous, ban miscellaneous. But Dinosaurs is really doing anything. Other decks are doing more, but that doesn't take away that the deck is still busted, right? But you know, who knows? Scrap Raptor might change that, but that's still a long, you know, well, couple of months ahead in time. Next up, PK, well, Burning Abyss mainly. Again, triple seer, triple graph. I believe the first time we are seeing this in the top cut of like somewhat of a bigger tournament, even though the tournament scene is not really, you know, like relevant. Well, relevant is not the correct word, but live, right? It's all either remote or online. Interesting run. The deck is not going to die out. Burning Abyss. Let's move on. PK-oriented version, more warrior toolbox, I guess, featuring Isolde and, you know, some PK as well. And on the right side, we see Shit Dolls. Has been a while. Still a very strong deck, underdog deck with the Dogmatica engine, but I mean, people are just, you know, ready for that. And it packs, well, maybe some issues with consistency, maybe. And then last but not least, a couple of other lists finally see Invoked, again somewhat faded away from the OCG as well, together with Dogmatica, again same here with Dogmatica, a couple of top 16 lists, so yeah, other decks, you know, might be just more consistent and more dangerous, higher ceiling, right? The fact that everyone is like if you have seen Azul, this first place, like 12 to 15 hand traps is not really uncommon. The last list, we see the Emancipator list, and this is something I definitely wanted to, or at least want to try out soon, is, you know, a small Prankets engine featuring Parallel Exceed and the Emancipators, right? Interesting one. I can't, like, you know, well, no, explain is not the correct word, but, you know, no experience with the deck, the consistency, but it's an interesting hybrid, so I definitely want to try that one out. So that's basically it, you know. It's like to conclude, yeah, well, our TCG format is still either remote duel or, and that's, you know, smaller portion of tournaments, smaller tournaments as a whole, while on the other hand, it could be well, online duels, online tournaments, but that's still different, right, compared to, let's say, an in real life YCS or regional. So, well, short set, our format is quite diverse, even though the two big decks are both Virtual World and Drytron. Don't overlook stuff like Dragonlink and Zodiacs, right? Okay, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. Feel free to leave a comment or like if you enjoyed the video. Lithium signing out. Peace.